Welcome to the 5th chapter of the series. One thing I didn't mention before that I just realized during this past month, that we will see in a moment, is that the team is predicted to end 15th and be involved in a scratch fight against relegation. The month has a good start against Napoli, who couldn't beat us. They had only one or two good chances that they missed, but most of the other chances were not as good, and therefore we were able to keep the draw until the end of the match, against all expectations, and despite the poor performance by Dario Dainelli, who had to be replaced at half-time. So a good point about this match is that we managed to get more than a few shots, more than I expected. I was thinking we would be lucky if we had 3 good shots in total. In this match I forgot to set the fullbacks to defend, something that I did around the 1 hour mark, and that helped to improve the performances of the both fullbacks. Followed an expected win and needed win against Udinese. They had many more shots and more possession than us, but considering the quality of chances each of us had, I would say this match was more or less an even match, and it could have gone either way. Perhaps we had better quality, because most of the Udinese shots were very poor chances, perfectly marked their players. They were more desperate than anything else. This was a match that we were lucky to get out with a draw, and at the same time unlucky that we got out with only a draw. We lost a man to a red card in the first half, Ivan Radovanovic, who seems to have a tendency of getting yellow cards and therefore might become a second choice instead of the first one in the midfield. Then I played for a while with a 4-4-1 formation, for one that they scored against us using that. Then around the 70 minutes I changed to 4-3-2, and Acosti scored from a corner in a rebound. Then we lost Cyril Thereo, or however that is pronounced, and we were then 2 men down, and we held up. Then it seemed that we could have a more or less calmer end of match when Marco Biagianti was sent off because of a violent fall with a second yellow card, but then that meant the second injury of the team, and we were playing then 8 against 10, but we held up until the end of the match. And here is something that made me rage. Acosta is in a race with Lucchini, gets the ball, has only the goalkeeper to beat, but then sends the ball out for a throw-in because Lucchini, who was out of the play anyway, was injured. All in all, a good result because Catania was high up in the table, and therefore I was not hoping to get much, so 1 point is something better than none, and I'm satisfied with the result. Then we played against Atalanta at their home. They were fielding a 4-4-2. It's the first time in the season that we play against a 4-4-2. The first quarter of our things seemed to be going well. We created a couple of very good chances that didn't get in a goal. They were two easy shots that were sent off the target. But then Denise scored, and shortly after Scully scored too, and then our side disappeared from the match, and I couldn't do anything to solve it. Change some of the mentalities and such, but nothing worked. And in the end, they got the win that was expected. I forgot to say that since the match against Udinese, I did change the fullbacks to be playing in a defensive role since the start to the end, and the right central midfielder has seen his mentality dropped one single click. It seems to have worked well enough to keep him deep enough so that the distance between lines is not as big, so sometimes it's still not small and might need still a little more tweaking. The results put us in 14th position, just 3 points ahead of relegation, which is what is expected of us, but I hope that we might in time, as players get in, to start climbing up the table. There are some problems with players, as the fullback seems to perform badly. Pamic has been improving his performance with the change of role, but not so Drame. I should have accepted the offer for him in the pre-season. There's other poor performers like Radovanovic and Pellicer, especially Pellicer, who is reported to be our best player by the scouts, and that in pre-season he did very well, but then he has been poor. It also surprises me a little to see some players, those many players with scores above 7 in the last 5 games. So in the global average rating, Pellicer is not as poor as in the last 5 games. He played against the 7-0 loss against Inter de Milan, so that was a heavy burden on his last 5 match games, and he's not played very much lately, I think. You also can see in the interceptions that fullback, no football, centre back. The top 3 are centre backs, and tackles attempted midfielder, right winger, midfielder, fullback, winger, centre back. For this next month, we have first Verona, who are in relegation and should be a match we could get the 3 points from. Sampdoria is more or less doing a good season, will be tricky. Roma are third, and it's a good side, so there's nothing expected from them. And then the Torino team that are in relegation right now, and that hopefully we can get the 3 points in the league. I don't care much about the cup. So it's a month that hopefully can be good and can see us getting some positions ahead in the table. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.